Hi, I'm Michael Wood, Executive Chairman of Sendero Resources. We're a newly listed copper gold explorer in the Vicuña District in Argentina. We just started trading beginning of October, and we'll start initial drilling in January 2024.
Brilliant. Michael, I'm good to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us. I know it's late. You're on the far side of the world. Otherwise, I appreciate you staying up to have this conversation with me. Right, I think it's important to maybe introduce yourself, background, and the team. There's some big names in there I recognize, and most people will recognize. But for those who haven't, can you take it from the top, please?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like myself, I'm not kind of the star of the show here. We have a lot bigger, more established people in the company than myself. But, you know, me and my business partners out here in Hong Kong, Jorge and Marco, have put this company together. And, you know, we're pleased to have raised just under $6 million in a pretty tough market. And, you know, we do have a couple of big names, Matthew. We have David Royale, who's an Australian geologist, multiple major discoveries all around the world, really one of the kind of preeminent porphyry experts operating today in exploration, and very successful also in the Andes. So he was really, you know, great to get Dave involved from day one, loved the project, and has built a great relationship in country. And then also we have Hernan Vera, who's the CEO of the company. Hernan's Argentinian, ran Barrick Gold in Argentina, ran Yamana, ran Anglo Gold in Argentina. Built 3 major mines in Argentina, oversaw production of millions of ounces of gold. Hernan privately bought this ground in 2018, 2019, and then we formed the company with him in March 2021. So Hernan runs the operational side of things in country. I'm focused on the capital market side of things, on marketing. And you know, we have Dave overseeing as a chief technical advisor.
Right. Okay. Well, look, I mean, quite the team there. And we're going to get stuck into the weeds in terms of you know what you're after. But just gives a sense of the kind of capital structure. You just raised some money. So tell us about that.
Yeah, we're coming out with 65.4 million shares on issue. We raised just under 6 million, 5.9 million Canadian at 20 cents. So that we came out at a post-money valuation of 13 million Canadian. Fully diluted is 86 million shares on issue. And, you know, great to get that initial money. We did a brokered financing with PI, Echelon, and Research Capital over the spring, really. March, April, the capital was raised. And now, drill ready. We actually just announced our drill permits today. Great to have those in hand in Argentina. And, now we're all set to drill. We've got some great targets, Matthew. Very similar geology to the other major discoveries around us. So we're finding the same geology as Filo, Jose Maria, Las Aladas, Porter Cliffs, Caserones, all these big deposits. You know, very exciting geologically. And, you know, we can't wait to get drilling. So, you know, great to be here and really want to get the drill turning and get assay results out.
Okay, so you mentioned a few, you're name dropping beautifully here, as you should do. So obviously Jose Maria, Porter Lundin, Craven, Filo as well. Some big names. It's a certain type of drilling up there on the border, Argentina, Chile border. So tell us exactly what you picked up and, you know, what you're going to be targeting.
Yeah, and look, this area actually Richard Silito, Dick Silito, who's, you know, kind of the godfather of the porphyry, came out with a paper in the summer formally defining what he calls the Vicuña Belt. And it's a 40-kilometer stretch from Filo up to Caserones. We have 120 square kilometers on that belt. What Dick Silito explained was this is very unique geology. What you've had is rapid erosion, rapid uplift at the same time, creating what he refers to as a telescope porphyry. And that's what all these Lundin discoveries are. And what you've had is the textbook model of a porphyry is it kind of forms on average about 2 to 4 kilometers below the surface. You get an epithermal system forming about a kilometer above that. And then you do get erosion and some uplift, but, you know, you're generally finding them still half a kilometer deep, the porphyry centers. But what's happened here on this Vicuña Belt is you've had rapid uplift, rapid erosion at the same time, pushing the porphyry up close to surface, and the epithermal has got eroded down and it's created one ore body. So that's why at Filo, you know, you see some amazing silver intercepts, multiple 100-meter silver intercepts down deep. And that's from the epithermal mineralization that they've got, all kind of mashed up into one big ore body.
Right. Okay. So I think it's quite a useful discussion to have now, which is helping people perhaps people have not invested in the area, trying to understand the type of drilling they don't know. Obviously, you got what have you got, about 5-6 million cash at the moment?
Yeah, just under 5 now, Matthew.
Just under 5. Okay. So this is deep stuff, right? So the drilling is going to be what type of drilling, and how much bang do you get for your buck in terms of getting after this stuff?
No, and I think that's the key thing to get across, Matthew. It's not. This is the beauty of the belt. It's not deep. We literally have 2 diorite porphyries outcropping of scale. One of them is 600 meters by 800 meters wide, right? And Dave Royale said to me, Michael, this is so rare. To have an actual porphyry ore body outcropping a scale like this, it's very, very rare to find. So we're pretty comfortable. This is what we call an pena. We'll be hitting mineralization basically from surface. So we don't have to drill, 300-400 meters before we start hitting that porphyry center. That's the beauty of this area. But having said that, we want to do some reasonably deep holes, but about 500 meters. We're not going a kilometer and a half like some people do. The plan is to do kind of 350 to 500 meter holes in this initial program. Target these 2 outcropping diorite porphyries, and then we're going to target another area where we've got a clustering of potential porphyries, which we know from the ground magnetics and the aeromagnetics are relatively close to surface. Believed about 80 to 100 meters from surface, we'll be hitting the porphyry center. So yeah, I think that's the key thing to get across. In this area, if you look at the Lundin discoveries, you're getting mineralization virtually from surface.
Right. Okay. So that answers the question, because I think we've had a few companies on where perhaps the drilling is with into the kilometers of drillings, which is kind of scary in terms of the spend. So this is at surface porphyry. You're chasing porphyry targets. You've got to be kind of conscious of the market. You said it yourself. It's a difficult market for equities at the moment. You've raised the money, which is good news, and you can kind of get on with it. So in terms of, what are the things that are going to restrict you from kind of getting on with it in terms of permitting or access to drills? What are you concerned about?
Yeah, well, none of those, Matthew. It's fully permitted. Literally announced the drill permit today on the 23rd. We have signed a drill contract with an established driller from Southland, done extensive drilling in Vicuña, which also we're very keen to get, right? Because it is quite unique terrain. So we definitely wanted a drill contractor that had experience of operating up there and was comfortable. So no hurdles, Matthew. Literally, we're ready to roll. We just want to do some more detailed geophysics before we get the drill turning. The drill contractor went in the geophysical contractor went in on Friday. We're doing some tighter ground magnetics across these 3 main targets with 50-meter space lines and a bit of IP. And then the plan is to start drilling first, second week of January.
Right. Okay. So quite soon. So you've inherited a lot of historic data there along the way. And what have you done with that? What have you done with that?
Yeah, extensive work, Matthew. And we had a great database from the likes of Anglo American, Eldorado Gold, Barrick, that had parts of this property. Nobody ever actually had the whole property. We had 250 kilometers of ground magnetics. We had 250 kilometers of IP, right? Extensive geophysical work, geochemical work. We did a lot of work on it, Matthew, and for a long time. And I think actually also a key thing, there's actually some great historic drilling on this property as well. From Eldorado back in the mid-90s. They did a pretty systematic drill program on an epithermal system, 9,500 meters, and had some good drill results, like 106 meters of 0.66. But multiple 30 plus meters of like 1.5 to 2 grams gold. That's pretty good that we already have a pretty solid confirmed kind of ore body already on the target, already on the property here at an epithermal target. But look, we want to go after these big porphyries, right? And the beauty of this, Matthew, and the whole area is the clustering. And I think people that are familiar with porphyries know, like for example, the Central Andes produces about 40% of the world's copper. And they generally comes from 4 or 5 giant clusters, right? Escondido, etc. And what the Lundins have shown is, and Silito kind of confirmed this in his paper, that this Vicuña Belt is a giant cluster of porphyry targets, and we've got a nice slice of it. So we're finding the same geology. And a key thing we want to show in this initial drilling is, look, we're hitting porphyries of good grade and good width. That's our key goal for the next 6 months.
Right. Well, and in therein, I guess there's the challenge in terms of how to present the information to the market, right? Because you've got a certain amount of money, you know that it's got to work really hard, because a lot of companies who've got capital and putting out announcements into this market just get a shrug of the shoulders. It's tough out there. So you've got to get that balance between doing the work to actually identify these kind of clusters and putting out the headlines, which is going to catch the imagination. So has it affected the way that you've kind of planned the drill program? I know you've got a bit more work to do, but do you think it will affect the way that you go about planning the drill program?
Look, I think we know we have 8 really advanced porphyry targets already on the property, and we want to go up to grade because, like you say, it's a tough market. And I think what we really want to show is, multiple 100-meter intercepts. Kind of what we're aiming for is 1% plus copper equivalent. A lot of the deposits in the region are kind of 0.5% to 1%. If we can start to show multiple 100-meter intercepts at that kind of grade, ideally ending in mineralization, and then we can start to tie it in with all our geophysical work as well. I think, we can create, particularly where we are, we can create a lot of excitement. This area is super hot. I think it's kind of perceived as probably the hottest copper exploration district in the world right now. And any kind of meaningful drill results from it, I think, will resonate with investors.
Right. And then talk to me about, obviously, you're in the right area, but you're on the Argentine side versus the Chilean side. So in terms of operating in country, what do we need to know?
Yeah, I think, they're increasingly supportive of mining. And, Filo is in Argentina, Jose Maria is in Argentina. The 2 big discoveries are in Argentina. So, I think, it'll be, the presidential election was yesterday in Argentina, the first one. It's going to go to a runoff. It looks pretty clear from the first round that Milei will win. The traditional conservative party got 24% of vote. Milei got 30, and the socialist side got 36. So it seems that the conservative side will come out with a victory in the runoff, which is November the 19th. And Milei is very pro-business, very pro-mining. And he knows, and Argentina knows, the potential they have, the geological potential they have is really vast. In copper, gold, and lithium, they're the kind of 2 main areas. And he wants to open up the economy, a lot more free market economics taking place. And we expect there will be a boom into mining, led by the central government on the back of this new presidency coming into power.
Okay. We'll see how that plays over the next few weeks. I guess I think people are very keen to understand if Argentina is going to be pro-mining and pro-commerce and foreign direct investment for sure. That's right. So I'm just going to finish off on this because it's early days. You're just going to start off. I'm going to let you go off and do the stuff and come back on and tell us I told you so. But you name dropped at the beginning a whole bunch of the big names who found big deposits, high grades, have done an exceptional job there. You're in the right district. Do you think you've got the strategy to be able to kind of deliver something like they have done? Do you think you've got the access to capital when you need it?
Yeah. And look, we've benefited a lot from their expertise, their geology, their exploration. And we've basically just followed the same exploration checklist. And we've ticked off everything. We've got the same host rocks, we've got the same structural controls, we've got the same moderation. We're really finding the same geology, which is super exciting to us. We have some of the world's best porphyry experts leading our exploration team. I'm very comfortable with that. And I think we have world-class targets. We just need to now show drill results. And I think where we are and the need for copper discoveries, we will have access to capital to keep moving this forward. And like we touched on at the beginning, Matthew, we're not drilling a kilometer and a half. It is not cheap drilling up there, but the fact we have these targets at surface really helps it be able to be advanced in a junior like ourselves. So we're super excited with what we have with the team, the geology, the location, the investors we already have. I think we have some very supportive investors that know the area and have benefited a lot from Filo and Jose. And they see us and they know even like 10, 20 million, 50 million, this is a fraction of what it could be. So, I'm optimistic. We'll see. Let's get drill results out and then we'll see how the market reacts and see, how much of capital is available. But I think, what we'd like to do is go back in 12 months and upscale our drill program substantially, maybe 10, 15,000 meters rather than basically 5. And by that point, hopefully we've been able to delineate ore body, at least one of these target areas pretty nicely and should have a lot of traction then in the market in our location and with our geology.